Welcome back. In case you missed this story from last week, a map has been circulating on social media of a proposed Amtrak route connecting Chicago to Marquette, returning passenger rail to the region that hasn't seen it since the 1960s. Shortly before that map went viral, we did notice local leaders voting in support of the idea as well. Since then, MyUP's Skylar Perkins has been looking into whether something big could be on the horizon.
Just a couple weeks ago, we noticed a few county boards considering resolutions for an Amtrak expansion in Michigan's Upper Peninsula. That got us wondering, who's behind the recent push and how likely is it of actually happening?
We're talking places like Menominee and Chippewa County. And while we were seeing these resolutions, we were more curious about how they were getting to the boards. We first reached out to Amtrak, but they told us decisions like that are usually spearheaded by the states, implying that there were currently no plans for a UP expansion.
And then Amtrak referred us to MDOT, who essentially told us the same thing.
But if it wasn't either of them, then who was behind all this?
It wasn't until we talked to Chippewa County's administrator that we were able to be connected with the man who proposed the resolution to the board.
And thanks to them, we learned the man pushing for these trains in the UP is Louis Valance, a retired Sheboygan man who spends much of his free time traveling the country. Through that, he says he's become a major advocate for expanding rail services in Michigan. Louis told us he's worked with many of the counties in northern Michigan and has been making his way across the UP.
Been in touch with Dickinson County, Iron County, Gogebi County, Schoolcraft and Luce County, Elder County.
According to him, there's nothing to lose by expanding the service.
I mean, it's a win-win for CN, it's a win-win for the state of Michigan, and it's a win-win for the federal government, Amtrak, and all the communities involved.
Meanwhile, we also reached out to Michigan Tech professor Pasi Latala, who said as much as he's an advocate for passenger rail, there just aren't enough people in the UP to financially support the expansion.
You can only have the train to be a serious alternative if you have enough frequency that business people can actually really use it. So you cannot be one or two trains per day. It has to be more of a in the name of, hourly or at least every second hour.
Doing some back-of-the-napkin math, he figured the hypothetical route may be able to support 10 trains a week, which, according to him, is just not enough to be useful.
Now, the calculus on all of that could change with just a couple big moves from state and federal legislators. We'll let you know if we hear anything on that front. For now, in Marquette, I'm Skylar Perkins from MyUP News.
All right, thank you, Skylar. And an update tonight, the city of Marquette passed a largely symbolic resolution in the consent agenda to send a letter of support for passenger rail routes to the Upper Peninsula. They'll send that letter to railway leaders at Amtrak, MDOT, and Michigan's congressional delegation. We have more MyUP News on the way. Stay with us. We'll be right back.